What we have here is we have one-step equations, okay? And each of these, the instructions are going to read solve for the variable or solve for p, solve for n, right? And these two, solve for k, solve for the variable. What does it mean to solve for the variable? Ask yourself that question. It means, right, to find out what that value is, find out what that unknown is. P in this case is an unknown. How do you find out what that unknown is? How do you solve for P? You get P on one side of the equal sign. So here's the equal sign. So this is one side, and this is the other side. You want P by itself on the side that it is. So right here I have, this is the side that P is on. What's in the way of P not being by itself? Well, this 6, right? This 6 is in the way. So what do I do to that 6 so that way I get rid of it? Well, the operation between the 6 and the p is multiplication. So I'm just going to rewrite it. So this is just the equation again, just so you guys can see. It's saying 6 times p. And you want to do the inverse operation. The inverse of times, or the inverse of multiplication, is division. So you divide by 6, and whatever you do to one side, as long as you do it to the other side, you're fine. So I divided by 6 over here. I have to divide by 6 on the other side of the equal sign. 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times p is just p. 30 divided by 6 is 5. And now I have this equation. If you read it from right to left, p is 5. Equals means is. P is by itself on one side of the equal sign, you're done. In this one, n is over here. What's in the way? So here's again the dividing line, right? The equal sign. What's in the way of n being by itself? This 11. So you minus 11 on both sides because I want to get rid of it. The operation between the 11 and the n is plus, right? So if I want to get rid of this positive 11, I just minus 11 because 11 minus 11 is 0. And then 0 plus n is just n. And then 17 minus 11 is 6. And I'm done with this one. Again, similar. I have here, on this side of the equal sign, I have the n. I want the n by itself. All I do in this case is I minus 18 on both sides. N plus 18 minus 18 is just n, because 18 minus 18 is 0. 11 minus 18 is negative 7, and we're done. Now here in number 4, the operation in this case is now multiplication, right? And that's what's key. You need to notice the operations here. I want to get rid of this negative 12. It's negative 12 times k, so I got to divide by negative 12 on both sides here. Negative 12 divided by negative 12 is 1. 1 times k is just k. Now, 204 divided by negative 12. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to guess. I know it's more than 10. Maybe, well, it's got to end in 4, so maybe 12? Nope, 12 is 120, is 144. So then I know it's got to be more than 12. Maybe it's then 16, right? And again, I'm just guessing. If you take your time and guess, whatever. Oh, yeah, this will be 12, so I know it's not 16. There we go. I'm trying to get it to end in 4, this multiplication. So then 17 is a good guess, right? Because then this is 14. This is 7 times 1 is 7, plus 1 is 8. I put the 0 down. 2, 1, 4, 0, 1, 2, 4. And then I get 17. It's negative, so it's negative 17 as my answer. Again, in this case, I want n by itself, but here I see that this is negative 13. How do I get rid of that negative 13? I add 13 on both sides. What I get here, negative 13 plus 13 is 0. I get n. Negative 7 plus 13 is positive 6, and I'm done. This one I want to get r by itself. It's r plus 1. I want to get rid of this plus 1. I have minus 1 on both sides. Going to get negative 13 equals r. And now let's go down to this one. Similar problem, right? I want to get r by itself. What's in the way in this case? The negative 8. You want to be careful in something like this, right? How do you get rid of negative 8? You got to add 8, right? You want to bring that to 0. If you add 8, negative 8 plus 8 is 0. 0 plus r is going to be just r. Negative 1 plus 8 is 7. And r is 7. Now in this case you want a by itself, but look, what's in the way? The 9. How do you get rid of that 9? It's a divided by 9. So you got to do the inverse operation. You got to multiply by 9 on both sides. 9 times 10 on the left-hand side is 90. 9 divided by 9, right? There's a 9 on top and then there's a 9 on the bottom, so that's division. 9 divided by 9 is 1. And then 1 times the a is just a, because you multiplied that 9 on the top, and then that put a 9 on the top and a 9 on the bottom. That just becomes 1. 1 times a is just a, and you're done with these 8 problems.